Welcome to the podcast, episode 2. Don't know what week it is in, but let's have some fun.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast. I'm Owen.
Zach.
Brandon.
So let's recap some stuff that's happened in the last 2 weeks, I guess.
I don't remember last Saturday, I'll say that much right now. That was here, there, and gone.
Yeah, we'll do nothing crazy summary-wise, but sales have been good, except for when Brendan works. But
Please help.
no, the terrible weather has kind of hurt the store, and it always does, but that's okay. Just want to give a quick GameStop update. Sucks getting PS4s here.
I mean, yeah, Xbox One so far they've been broken, except for
the all-digital one.
The all-digital one we just got in. That one works. No disk drive to break.
Just HDMI.
Just HDMI. Cards have been picking up a lot, and I know we can't visually show you the store right now, but check us out. You'll see major updates to the card section. It's currently sitting in not shambles but disarray.
I mean, yeah, there's a whole wall missing right now, but hopefully by tomorrow we have a wall.
Yes.
Hopefully it gets delivered for us, and we can build some more stuff and fix the card sorting machine if you guys didn't know we had one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the wires are all messed up or something. Yep. Hopefully that's it, not just endless issues.
Yeah, well, I have to pay for the subscription. I haven't paid for it yet.
That's why it doesn't work anymore.
So why pay for it?
No point in paying, yeah.
I'll just quickly summarize that, card trades have been through the freaking roof, and everyone that trades cards in or trades anything in, thank you. Fuels the store to get more stuff. Card trades take a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So anyone that has traded stuff in, thank you for bearing with us. Anyone that will trade stuff in, thank you for bearing with us.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. More to come. I bought a GameCube collection. I know by the time anyone watches this or listens to this, it will already be here. Should be here Tuesday or Wednesday this week. And anything from you guys?
Next time you guys are in, the card thing should be set, and it should be all different. Which, I mean, there's something different every couple weeks.
Yeah.
But that's going to be all new. We're going to have a new setup for the loose games.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's going to be...
You can highlight that on. Brendan, yeah.
I'm very excited about it. We've been resurfacing all of them so that all of them are...
So that you can see what it looked like before. Sorry.
Gotcha. It looked like this before. Or like a Smash Brothers style case. That was the other one. But now it's going to be a new style, which I'll grab the new style.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We weren't prepared.
We weren't prepared to talk about this.
No.
But we might as well, because we put a lot of effort and thought into it.
Well, especially Owen has been doing the heavy lifting of making sure to try and resurface games while also balancing customers, which has been quite
and making sure that the games are in the system, too. It's not just we
Yep.
throw the games out there, no prices or nothing. Everything has to be in the system.
Yes.
You want to highlight since you're in the center?
Yeah, I will. You talk about it.
We have 3 different colors, and then there's a fourth color for Sega stuff, but there's not a lot of Sega stuff. So we have green for Xbox. It's a little sleevey, and then it has buy one get one no returns on the back. They're all highlighted. Same thing with the PlayStation one, but it's blue, and then the Nintendo one, which is red. And then just going through, making sure they're spotless, or as spotless as they can possibly be. That way we don't have to do a register for you guys, because it's going to save us and you guys a lot of time for whenever you're buying those games.
Yes, and now we can officially take them in on trade the right way, not the wrong way, I guess you would say.
They'll be processed as they come in now, instead of just becoming a big stack of games.
Games that just sit for months on end. It's nice that we can properly...
Oh, wait till I bring the bins in of loose games I have.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, half of them are probably garbage.
Especially, mainly the Blu-ray. Anything that's Blu-ray based or Wii U.
PS3 is one of the big
PS3's
things.
the worst one.
They're the oldest Blu-rays, so they just have the most time to cut and just completely destroyed.
Yeah.
A lot of people just didn't take care of them. Although it's not everyone. It's just more than other games, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's good. We should have most... I can't even say most, because we don't know what the weeks hold. We're working through it. Owen has gotten Owen and Brendan has gotten Xbox, Nope, I can't even say PS4 because I got some at home. PS4
mostly done. Original Xbox done as of today.
Nice. Yep.
I mean, I think there might be one or two, but it's done. And then
Wii U.
Wii U's done, but that was like 5 games. There should be more on the way though. We'll be doing them as we go. But we'll be switching over to the new system. All the new system will be the ones in those sleeves. All the old system is going to be the old cases, the Smash/Pink ones.
Yep.
But they'll both have the buy one get one free.
Yeah.
It's just we might have to resurface the ones in the old cases.
And ultimately, this helps the store look better because now we can spread out some of our sections. Those people that listen or watch that know our store is slowly getting cramped more and more every week, every day. You know, it's a good thing. Just we try to make it as shoppable as possible. I know, like, I can quickly just say one of our biggest rules here as far as shopping is we have like a 2-person, I don't want to say rule because sometimes you can't negotiate it, but 2-person walkway.
Yeah, where we have 2 people can walk through the aisles at a time, which for the most part, I think there might be 1 or 2 areas where it gets a little tight, but even then, they're better than the old store by many miles.
Yeah.
Where you'd run into someone if you just walked any direction, and there was another person there.
Or walk into a case, or...
I wish we had a picture of the old store. If we do have a picture,
I'll pull up a picture for audio listeners. Check out the video podcast. There's pictures and all sorts of stuff there. But,
because the old store, like, I don't know if anyone, or new listeners too, or whoever, this used to be a 600 square foot. I'm going to say it wasn't 600, but the landlord said it was 600. Different story. 600 square foot to now a 2,500 square foot, and we've outgrown it in less than 2 years.
Mm-hmm. The old store, I remember getting trapped in, we called it the SS Zach, which was like the testing areas that, like, if you were at the old store, there's like this, you walk down into the Sega Genesis games, and then loop over into our area. I used to go over there, and then someone would go to the Genesis area, and I was just trapped there for like the rest of the day until they were like done browsing.
Until they were done.
Which, it
hurt. It hurt business.
Because you couldn't have more than 2 people in the store that didn't know each other.
Right.
Before it was like...
I mean, Brendan, you were a customer at the time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
so you couldn't give more of like how it felt. As employees, it's different because we would just say, excuse me, you got to put something away.
Oh yeah.
If you're trying to pacify another customer.
Oh yeah. No, going in there when it would just be me and my girlfriend Cheyenne, it would just be like, oh, it always had a nice cozy feeling to it. But yeah, especially once the summer hit and it started heating up outside, oh boy, it was not the best place to be in, but it was still nice. We kept shopping there.
And there's a certain vibe of Main Street that's kind of nice. It was a smaller, cozier feeling then.
Yes.
Which can be missed. I missed that a little bit, but also this is just a better store.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Night and day.
And again, I'll preface that these 2 plus any other employees, past, present, future, we all take pride in this place, and that's the biggest thing is we really want to be the best we can for everyone. And it's hard. I'm going to be the first to say it. I have a lot of sleepless nights. They have a lot of sleepless days because they got to actually work. That's a funny joke right there. You guys can laugh at it. But no, we all. I just want to say we all do appreciate it, and like especially we had a customer yesterday, first time here. Brendan and I helped her, and she was just beyond happy, saying now that it's going to be a weekly trip. That's why we do what we do. I'm in the money or the business to make money. Excuse me, but. At the end of the day, I don't know about you guys. I feel great when someone is happy leaving here or happy coming here or making it a trip. The amount of people from Buffalo today and yesterday.
Gosh, yeah.
I could go on and on about everyone that comes to the store. I don't know about you guys, but...
It's also, too, especially on the weekends, having all the kids come into the store and seeing them just go, like, absolutely crazy, just being happy to be here, and like, you know, we gotta go already, you know, like it's a really nice feeling knowing that people like of all ages want to be here, that it's not just we gotta go to that place again, or you know,
a chore.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a chore. That people, for the most part, from what we've seen, love coming here.
Yeah, with like kids and stuff with the cards and stuff when they're going through, and
gosh,
you have like, especially 25 cents, because that's like, it sounds like it's not going to be anything good. It sounds terrible. It sounds like you're not going to find
a garbage card at 25 cents.
But then like, I show the kids them, and like, there's going to be EXs and like Vs and stuff in here, and then they go through and they're like pulling out like ones after another. Like they're so excited because like the rare cards to them that like are so valuable. But then the 25 cents, so it's perfect for a little kid to just like go ham, get like 60 cards, and you spent the same as like a couple packs.
Yes, and you know, on that note, you know, cards. We're trying our hardest to get it to more than one distributor. That's mainly falling on me, so I will take all the blame, even though like there's no blame to really give. It's impossible to get card packs right now, at least for distributors wise. Yeah, like I can go to the store and fight people at Costco and Walmart to get them, but I want to be, and that's the goal for this year. One of the goals is by Christmas, hopefully, to have a card vendor, because we heard all of your feedback out there that Christmas wasn't ruined, but kind of would have been better if the stores around us, like the GameStops, like we talked about in the last podcast, had card packs. Like the Walmarts ran out. You were talking about Costco, you know, Targets.
Yeah, Costco's the crazy one because those are like the people are fiend over like anything that they stock, and they'll go catch their pallets and just like annihilate them. Mm-hmm. But with cards, it's like the worst. Like I was watching the one video of a guy. He went up to it, and they have no limit on it, which I get. But they go up to it, and then they put like, I think it was 10 of those like big boxes into their cart, and then the guy comes up to him like, I need one for my kid. And then he's like, all right, you can have one, but that's it. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Like a little Golem reference.
Like, my precious. The rest of it, he's like, you cannot have any more. They're all mine. And I understand why, but it's ridiculous. When like people just want to buy like a pack and they can't get it at a store at all.
And it sucks. We get asked constantly all day, so it's not like a annoying question for any of us, but we do respond, and we're trying. You know, I can even like Brendan has been watching the new packs, not like a hawk, but he's been watching the plummets. Wow, the values.
The values, they've been going up and down. I mean, like a lot of anything Prismatic Evolutions I know right now is absolutely like you can't get it anywhere. And a lot of the cards, though, I'm seeing like people like, I think it's like an Umbreon EX Full Art, something like that, was going for like almost $2,000. And I'm already starting to see the prices plummet. And I'm hearing rumors already from a lot of people that they're going to be doing reprints already.
Wow.
Especially because I've just been hearing a lot of people, they're going after older sets now because the pull rates, from what I've heard and seen online, are just atrocious. So now there's, I was talking to one of our regulars yesterday about that there was a card, I think it was a Persian from Shrouded Fables, a full art, that has been starting to increase in value because people can't get a hold of any of the newer sets, so you got to go back, you know, a good 3 or more sets to be able to actually find anything, or even to just be able to open packs, which I know for some people that's all they just want to do, is to be able to get the experience of opening a pack, and you can't even do that anymore. So it's absolutely insane. So yeah, I like to usually, when people are browsing cards, I usually like to try and go on TCG Player and kind of take a look at what the latest stuff is, to try and kind of keep up with it the best I can, despite not being like somebody who's into collecting or selling cards myself. But I figure it's not a bad idea to at least just try and get a good idea of when stuff comes in, of like, oh, yep, I know we're going to probably have to pay a decent amount to get that in, or something like that. But,
bring in a $2,000 card, and then we had to buy it. I mean, I'd make an offer.
I was about to say, and
That never hurt.
thankfully we haven't had any stupidly expensive cards coming
Pikachu.
in. The Pikachu. I think that was Surging Sparks, and
I
that
thought it
was
was prismatic.
I think it was prismatic.
I thought
Look
it
at
was
the Instagram we posted it on.
Yeah.
So,
it was one of the crazy ones that
There you go.
came in and
I'm holding
it went.
Yeah.
I was about to say, and it went within a couple of hours, and I mean, just every time I see somebody come in and drop $100 on a card, I'm like, oh my gosh,
I get it.
I
Because
get it.
I also spend I spent so many dollars on games that the game's technically it came out. It's worth
what it was
$60 at the time.
Yeah.
It's really old now, so it should be worth less. But I think the most expensive game I ever bought was $300 and something. That was Shattered Memories on PS2.
oh
Yes. But sometimes you got to get that for your collection. I get it, and that's what we're here for too.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry.
That's why we exist. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
That's a big part.
that copy of Pokemon box we got and sold that, and how many times we questioned. I don't know if you were here, but we questioned the guy. Are you sure you want to spend over $1,000 on this?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I was like, yes, I need
That's,
it.
I was gonna say that happened to me. What was that? I think it was June of last year when we got a copy of Kuon in.
Oh yeah.
And the person came and bought that as well as I think it was Devil Summoner 2 on the PS2.
Which is
And I was just like, are you sure? Are you positive? I'm like, yeah, no, okay. I was like, okay.
Which, I don't know if you guys have noticed the trend, but a lot of people right now, if I can interject, I'm thinking of that Kuon and stuff like that. They're buying it off of Amazon and stuff, and I don't even know how to word what I want to word.
I mean, it's much worse market over there.
Yes.
It's not always, because I have seen where normally I'm very used to Amazon just being very ridiculously priced for anything that isn't current. All the current stuff, it's fine. It's normally just the market value of it. But I was always very shocked by how expensive stuff are. Anything that's expensive is definitely way more expensive there. However, there's a couple games you'll find every once in a while where it'll be I'm trying to think of one that's just common. Cabela's Dangerous Hunts.
Oh yeah.
And it's the same price on there.
Yes.
As it should be. And I'm like,
okay,
well, you can go buy that. That's fine. That wouldn't be a ripoff at all. Generally, I always recommend eBay and then just go in price charting.
Well, I mean, first recommend a local game store around you.
If it's not here and you want it right now, go on eBay.
Yep.
Check out sold listings or go on price charting, check out what the price is there, and then pay within a reasonable amount of what those are. Because you don't want to get ripped off. And
yes.
It hurts. It sucks to get ripped off. I've had that happen before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I just actually today, before I came into work, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on Mario Toadstool Tour for the GameCube because I'd been looking for it ever since
I hope that comes in on the GameCube collection.
No, and I know it's probably going to.
That's funny.
But
I didn't think about that.
I will say I did. So the game's going for roughly about $30 right now, and the copy I got it for with shipping under $25. So I was good. I'm gonna take it because anytime you save something, if you don't buy it right away, they usually are like, oh, here's 10% off or here's 15% off just to get rid of it. And it's like, you don't have to pull my strings.
I was already going to buy it, but
I know,
okay.
but because you forced me.
That's actually a really good game. Have you played it?
I have not in that, but I've seen I watched the Game
Grumps. I played it and you haven't played it?
Well, I was going to say, I saw the Game Grumps playing it, and I was like, oh, this makes me want to play it even more now.
Yeah, understandable. I get that. I haven't bought many games online recently just because I haven't been collecting at a rapid pace anymore. I slowed much more down.
Oh yeah.
Used to drop $300 here on a weekly basis. But yeah, no, I've slowed down a lot. But the last one I bought was Silent Hill 2. Platinum Hits on Xbox. This is the last one I needed of the regular ones.
Oh yeah. The variant covers.
Yeah, to get all the variant versions of it, which there's not many for Silent Hill. But there's no collector's editions or anything. They never made one. But that was the last thing. It was $60 because it went finally down after the remake came out, and I was like, and it went down. I was like, mine. I want that right now. Before it goes back up, and then it's like, oh, people like want to play the original now, and then it goes skyrockets. That happens sometimes when a game like plummets, and then it'll go back up after people realize that the remake's different.
It's not a 1-to-1.
It's not a 1-to-1.
Yeah. I know we talked about Resident Evil last week, or last episode, excuse me, but that's a good example of one. When the remake came out, and then Nemesis on PS1 jumped up in price.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because people wanted to play the original.
Right.
I think normally they dip down when a remake comes out because you're like, oh, I can sell my copy.
Right.
And then it goes right back up because people are like, wait, I shouldn't have sold my copy.
Same thing happens with movies too. I mean, we saw it with the Deadpool on PS4.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Anytime there's like a new media surrounding a thing, people want to play the games. I think that happened to Sonic and Sonic Adventure 2 with Sonic 3.
Gosh,
I was about to say in Shadow the Hedgehog, that one I realized that when on GameCube, I don't know about Xbox and PS2, but on GameCube, I think it's sitting at about $100 right now, and that used to be.
It used to be like a $20 game, from what I remember.
That's the thing. They all used to be that cheap.
Well, remember that Piglets you picked up?
I haven't checked on it to see if it went up, but as soon as there's like a IGN or something like did a thing on Piglet's big game, and apparently it's very Silent Hill 2 inspired. Like there's levels that are like eerily the same music. There's the whole jumping to the hole thing from Silent Hill where you jump into the hole.
Okay, yeah.
And that happens in Piglets. And so people were like, wait, this game has like a whole horror dream sequence. And so people got really into it. And we're trying to find it, and then people were charging ridiculous prices on eBay. I don't know if that's still happening or if it like came down because people stopped caring.
I'm gonna check.
Check right now.
I gotta check it right now.
Let's find out.
So
Piglet's big game on PS2 is what I bought it on. No manual, which I was sad about.
I bet you it's more on GameCube.
I bet it's more on PS2 because I don't know. The community's more up there.
Yeah, but it's Nintendo.
So on GameCube right now.
Where's that?
It was.
So last I checked, it was like the same price.
So
that, which was like a week after.
Where is it? It shot up in November.
Mm-hmm.
So it was sitting at like $10. It is now. Oh wait, that's loose. My bad. Hold on. Okay, so it was about 15 to 20.
Okay.
Now it is sitting at $80 complete for GameCube.
Okay,
you might be
for
right.
For PS. Oh, and you're gonna have to bleep this out, you lucky son of a. It is sitting at $95 complete.
$95. That's like a.
That's disgusting.
500% profit. Because I bought it for like $10, $15 max.
And I'm sure some stores actually still have it at that price.
I'm sure Goodwill you can still find it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think many people know that game is now expensive. Now you guys do.
Right.
But
you're welcome.
Yeah, no, I remember it was selling on like eBay for like $160. Like
Jeez.
When I got it.
People want it.
Yep.
Well, because like as soon as you learn something like that, that's interesting. I get it. Like I've watched YouTube videos and then tried to buy a game after. So what got me to Silent Hill, I think, is I heard about it, saw YouTube videos and stuff. It's like, okay, I want to play this.
Yep.
I mean, also Dead by Daylight got me into it because they have a Silent Hill crossover.
Yep.
I was gonna say Fatal Inertia.
Fatal Inertia is one that I missed out on though. Is it was didn't we have it here or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it for $15.
Brendan told you to buy it, and you didn't listen. Or...
No. That was what he had. There was one he was sitting on a Mercari where he was going to pick it up, and then it passed up and then it shot off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still, I think, like $60-something now.
Yes, it did. It skyrocketed way beyond $60.
It was like I think it made it up to over the $100 mark. But then
I think well over 100. I want to say 150, but I'm not 100% on that.
And it's not even, from what I saw in the gameplay of it, it doesn't even look good.
I think it's just like F-Zero ripoff.
I think so, yeah.
Where it's just like a really fast-paced, like your slipstream, like type thing. It's like I like those style of games, but there must be something special about it that I just haven't played it. So
because it didn't sell well.
I mean, that's
special.
But there's so many like weird, obscure 360 games. I've picked up so many. I'm waiting for them to all spike, man.
They will. That's what's so weird about. I was gonna say that's so weird about this market is everything just goes up and down and up and down. And you know what did we get in today? Hunter Call the Wild.
Yep. Well, that one's actually really good. As someone that enjoys hunting games a lot, and I don't know, I love them. I played Deer Hunter 2005. That was the first one I ever played, and I love the hell out of that game. Call of the Wild is like a very close to like the Deer Hunter games, but modern and like improved in a lot of ways. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it has gone from a $20 game to a now
$60
game.
Yep.
Yeah.
So retail price.
It's back to the price
to
it was.
retail.
It's more for the 2019 edition, which we do not have.
Yes, and I think when I was looking earlier today, I think both the PS4 and Xbox One versions at one point or another hit, or no, I think it was PS4 hit over 100, and then it was Xbox One, I think, hit like 80, and then now both of them are starting to come back down, but still.
I remember when I first played Hunter Call the Wild, it was right when the craze happened, which is like right when it started to spike up. And I went over to GameStop, the one in Brockport that's no longer there. R.I.P. And I was buying some games, and while I were going through the drawer, I saw Call of the Wild just hanging out in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I want that. I want to pick that up. And then they scanned it, and I said, okay, that's like $100 and something. And I was like, never mind, I'll pass on that guy. It was so casually the way they scanned it and didn't like blink an eye, and they just like gave me the price. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't buy that.
The box wasn't on the floor with a different price?
No, the box wasn't even out there. That's why I asked for it, because I was like, I didn't see that out there. And then which they didn't have many games out. And they never got like new games at that GameStop for Xbox One. You get like the two most popular games that would release that like couple months, and that would be like all they got.
That's a lot of the GameStops now too.
Fair.
Brockport especially, like they didn't get new stuff at all.
No. And then they started trying to get back into all the retro stuff. And it's like, I think, I know I picked something up from there. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was, might have been Burnout Revenge. I think it was one of the last ones I got from there.
Revenge is good.
And I got that for the 360, so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Like, why not?
I mean, they had 360 games plenty of the time because they still like had Xbox One ones. The main thing that they start carrying now is more like 64 games, stuff like that. But you gotta be careful with all the repos out there. They do not check at GameStop, which is understandable. They can't train all of their thousands and thousands of employees to spot them.
Yeah.
The Pokemon games was always the worst. Almost any time you go in there, you'd see one and be like, that's a fake. And then they'd be like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Remember when you and I were in there?
That's
DS,
what I'm talking about, yeah.
That DS that we saw for $1,000.
Oh, yeah. That one time, Zach and I went into the GameStop because I think we just traded in a whole bunch of stuff, and there was a 2DS that was just chilling in one of the cases, and it was accidentally marked at like $10,000. Yep. But, get this, I think you could save 10%, and it was still like
astronomical.
It was still so much. And when we pointed it out, they were like, I think it was the manager who was there, and he's like, oh great, there goes another mistake. Granted, that was a nice way of putting it, not I can't say
what he said.
Yeah. And GameStop, oddly enough, looking it up online, a lot of the expensive stuff, they always have marked down by usually or it's always chilling at I find well below what market is going for.
Normally, GameStop is very reasonable with their prices, but like for old stuff.
Yeah.
Only really for old stuff. I think there's every once in a while that's not reasonable. It's the wrong price, but Pokemon games are underpriced there. And then pretty much anytime I ever see something that's hundreds of dollars and it's collectible, it's $50 cheaper there at least. But they don't ever have it, so it's not really.
Or the quality of it is not always. It is so random that it could be, this is the game I was looking for, and then it's completely destroyed.
You get Kuon, but it's just the loose disc in one of the GameStop sleeves, even though it said with box or whatever.
I still remember that time I took advantage of their buy one get two free new deal or whatever. And half the box was loose games.
Yep, exactly.
And their
then
GameStop covers,
and they tried to argue with you that but they are new.
Oh, that was a good argument. I loved that. I remember that one.
Actually, I think that's still on the store's video phone. The unboxings of all of them.
Yeah, we checked it out. It was not good. I mean,
it's just disappointing.
I don't know how that gets passed because I get it when it's like, they don't care if it's loose or complete, so they just have it all in as the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But new is new. There's no difference with something that's either opened or it isn't.
And I could understand to a degree. I'm going to say to a degree.
When they have those things where they tape them back up, I can say that's still new because it's never been used.
Right, like they had to display one, and then they're giving you that copy, and they're taping it, saying that it is new.
I'm okay with that as much as I don't clutch sealed things, so I don't really care that it's not sealed.
Yeah.
As long as it's still new condition.
Yes.
It's fine. Like someone didn't just take the display case and dip it in gravy or something like that.
We get a couple of those here and there.
We get a lot more than gravy. We get a lot of kitty litter, is what I always seem to.
Dog fur.
Bugs.
Alright, yeah, dog fur, bugs.
Oh,
but kitty litter's the worst one because it's so stenchy.
Oh,
and I don't understand how it's not just one trade. It's been many trades from many different people that smell like kitty litter. And I don't understand it. I don't know how the games ended up like that unless they're in the litter box.
Yes.
Or they were the litter box.
They were the litter box. They just opened up the game cases and oh yeah, this is your area.
Do it.
Do it.
God, that's disgusting. I think about something like that.
Yeah, no, it's mainly, it's just bad. And then you have to wipe them all off and then hope it's not there. Cigarette smoke's also bad, but kitty litter's S tier, and that's
A tier.
And on that note, real quick, just for any of our regular shoppers that don't know, if we have a copy on the floor and it looks
worse,
yes,
or
always
bad,
right. Always ask us if we have another copy because we decide this might be stupid, but whatever. We put the worst copy that we have of the game on the floor, so then when you come up to the register, you're getting a better, clean copy. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're gonna replace a case but if it's a little smudge on Dance Dance Revolution, we probably have a better copy behind the counter here.
I mean, there's ones that are dog chewing on the floor.
Yes.
Then I have a sealed copy on the wall.
Yep.
Not always.
No, yeah, and it's usually I was about to say, and it's usually sports titles we might have a sealed copy of. It's
normally not sports titles. I feel like it's The Division, and then ones
Destiny,
ones that were at Five Below. And those they got all the sealed copies and someone bought it. I was like, I'm gonna trade this.
Geometry Wars.
Geometry Wars. I've got multiple sealed copies of.
Madden 13.
Oh, I got a lot of copies of Madden 13 ones.
Well, maybe that's a segment we could do. Future, the worst trades.
Mm-hmm. Well, worst trades with Madden 13. I just spent way too much on a bunch of sealed copies of Madden 13.
That are sitting in my basement.
Yes. I don't think we've even sold it.
We haven't sold a single one because it went straight from here, old store, to house.
I mean, then it's not my fault for not selling them. But, I mean, we've always had Madden 13 in stock. It's just those copies, we have a lot.
And that was old system, too. New system's better.
New system has a whole, because it wasn't just a copy or two of Madden 13. It was
There was 13, 14, 15 copies, all sealed.
No, I think some of them were unsealed, but yes.
There was more than two that were sealed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember paying a premium for the sealedness and everything, and I spent a lot of money on that. That was when I was still semi.
Oh, you were done.
I was a year. I was within a year of my starting. And I never encountered a sealed product like that.
Right. Well, I mean, I was just thinking, you're talking about sealed. What about the copy of Silent Hill that we got in Greatest Hits sealed?
Oh, the Greatest Hits sealed?
It's so hard for us, and Brendan, you can vouch too, to value a sealed item, but something like that,
we still have it here, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The general rule...
We should show it off.
No, that's too much work.
You don't want to flex it?
No, I don't want to. I hate flexing. If we're going to flex, we would flex Disney Sports Basketball that I'm staring at this entire time, or the 2 copies of Xenoblade Chronicles in front of Owen, or the Dragon Ball Z double pack.
Trilogy.
Well, the
Or
trilogy, but it's not even the third Budokai Tenkaichi.
Well, because it came out 1 year before Tenkaichi 3, so that's why...
It would be astronomically more expensive.
Oh my
gosh, yeah.
So I guess good that it's not in there, but it's still too expensive. Together, they're more, like
They're way
one
less
and a half
than...
times more than...
I was going to say, together, like, all 3 of those games in that collection easily are worth a lot less than what they are.
With that
With
cardboard.
the box. All it takes is that cardboard sleeve, and suddenly you're, like, rolling in money. It's ridiculous.
Sometimes cardboard's worth a lot. Sometimes cardboard isn't worth a lot. Like, NES games always shock me when it's like, oh yeah, it's like a $10 game, even if it's, like, with a box and everything. Like...
Yeah.
Atari games are very commonly, like, just not worth very much.
The amount of ones that we have on the floor that, I mean, some of them are definitely reseals, but some of them also, pretty sure those are the original seals.
There's no real reseals because they would seal them in stores back then.
Yep.
Like, Atari didn't ship it with, like, their own seal.
Yep.
Like, I think, like, Sears would seal it a different way than, like, different stores.
And different companies would seal it their way.
Mhm.
Atari didn't have a quality control at the time. They just said, here's our technology, you build us games, and we'll take a small percentage of your profit.
I don't even know if they took a small percentage.
They probably didn't at the time because it was all new.
Because, I don't think they did, only because...
They're not around anymore?
Well, fair. But no, there's just so many companies that you couldn't keep track of. No one even has like a definitive list of all of the Atari games that exist.
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
no one can know because there were so many.
Right, and I was just actually helping a customer last week in the Atari case asking why we have so many copies of, I don't know, it was like Asteroids, and I had to explain, well, this company made it, this company made it, this company made it, and then there's a blue label.
Yes.
And these are the here's our section of reprints of just that one game.
Yep.
Oh, it was interesting. It was a lawless wasteland.
What else did we want to talk about? Did we want to talk about Creep?
We can talk about Creep 1 and 2
and
then follow up with the tapes.
We'll follow up with the tapes. Maybe we'll do a little bit of like an extra thing for that then.
What, for Creep tapes?
When we were just covering Creep tapes. I mean, there's episodes, but like it's also like not that long.
Yeah, you know what? When we do the episodes, we might need to actually write it down because it's hard for me to remember. It's only 6 episodes. That's the worst part.
Well,
I think they're all like 20 minutes each.
They're
20
so
minutes,
small, but
like some of them blend in more than others.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I know the mom. I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I was
wait,
gonna say, I've only seen the first one.
No spoilers for Brendan, and no spoilers for the audience yet. But real quick, just wanted to like give a parental warning. So if you're watching this with kids, we're gonna talk about horror movies. We're gonna have a segment normally each podcast where we talk about movies, whether they're horror or not. Today's a horror movie for sure.
Yep.
And probably in the future there'll be more horror movies. But just parental warning, horror movie talk. And then I will have in the description of the podcast, a like little thing telling you where to skip to if you want to skip to that, if you want to skip this part. And then for the YouTube video, it'll be in the same description. Should skip if you want to.
Yes, that'll be for all of them too.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure you guys knew that before
we discuss. Luckily, this one it'll be easy.
Yeah, there's not too much there.
No, Creep 1 and Creep 2 are I'm going to say called. They're called classics now at this point. They will be. They're getting there because there's a small following behind.
I mean,
these guys.
I watched it with my mom, and she even liked it. So,
I can't believe you watched it, like especially the second one.
But it's a good movie. It's not really a horror. It
is. It is horror.
Oh,
my mom got scared.
One. I was about to say it messes with you. The main thing is just like, okay, when are you gonna kill? Like, when are they gonna die? That's always like the thing is, okay,
that's what I love about the first one.
I was gonna say, let's break down the first one first.
So
it was directed, I believe, by Patrick Bryce or something like that.
It's the guy. If you watch the movie, the guy that what's his name? Aaron. Yes.
Yeah, the guy that's the killer, right?
No, not him.
The other guy.
That's.
Well, no,
his name's not probably. That's Joseph. Also, by the way, his name's Joseph in the first one. That's what he goes by.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Aaron, I think, is the other guy.
Oh, yeah. No,
so, yes. Yep. Aaron is the director in real life.
He is, yeah.
Yes.
And he's actually done all of them.
On all of them. Yep. He continued to do
help
that.
out with them.
He just doesn't
do
the rest of them as acting.
He was in Creep Tapes. We'll go into that
for
later.
A second, I think.
Yes, yep.
And then for
the main
character and producer and writer as well,
Mark Duplass.
Duplass.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
He's great.
Oh,
Great actor. He reminds me of people I know in real life whenever he's like...
Oh, gosh.
No, like, so whenever he's, like, in his nice mode, he reminds me of, like, people I know that just, like, seem fake nice. Like, I don't know if you've ever met someone that feels like they've, like, put on, like, the face of, like, fake nice. But, like, you trust that they're not, like, malicious. Like, it doesn't feel disauthentic when he's doing it in the movie. And it feels like one of those people that just, like, something's off, but it's fine.
But you can't quite tell what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think we can disclose some of the story. I don't want to go too far.
No, I think we can go into the full story.
Yeah,
There's full spoilers for this.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Mark is the main character, whatever his name is, Joseph in this one.
Yeah, it's Joseph in the first one.
He changes his name. Spoilers, clearly. He is pretending that he has cancer.
And that he wants a film made about him for his
future son.
He's having a son with
someone that we've never met. We hear her on the phone.
Yes.
But we never meet her.
One of the first things you see is when Aaron, who took up the job of making this film for Joseph, he comes up to this sort of log cabin that's kind of on a hill. And then one of the first things you see is an axe just right in the stump.
Right in the front yard staircase right there. And he goes, oh, that's weird. And he continues going up the stairs, you know. Yeah. If anyone's watched horror movies, stay away from that.
Right?
He also promised $1,000 for 1 day. For 1 day of filming. He said they're going to go on a journey. I think, did it have the interview with the vampire thing?
Oh, that's the second one.
The second one? The second one onward, because they do that in creep tapes too. Yep. They have that. But he offers $1,000 to film with him for a whole day.
24 hours, let's say.
24 hours. The whole day he's supposed to go on like hikes with him and
just follow him around.
Film him in the bathtub.
Yeah, so tubby time is the first thing that happens.
Pretending he's playing with the baby.
Mm-hmm. And like giving it a bath, and it's just...
Yeah, he goes through, tubby time is this special thing with his dad, and how it meant a lot to him, and he wants to make sure he can have tubby time with his future kid, even if he's not able to be there. And so it's just this weird scene of, you never see anything but a fully naked man in the bathtub with holding nothing, just air.
Named Buddy. Remember?
Buddy,
Buddy.
He
doesn't know the name.
Mm-hmm. They haven't decided on a name yet. And so he's holding that, and he's like rocking it, and he's talking to it, and he's like coddling it on his chest.
And then pouring water on it.
On nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. And Aaron's just filming it, like, not really saying much during that.
What are you supposed to say?
Yeah.
Like $1,000? $1,000?
Yeah, I know.
But he just films him until he eventually, they rest together, Joseph and Buddy. And eventually
doesn't he then slip down and start slipping down?
Oh yeah, he slips
and he,
into the
fakes
water.
His own death.
He fakes his own drowning, that's right. Yeah. And then he scares him. He loves to scare.
Jump scares, particularly.
He loves to randomly just jump scare whoever, in the first one, Aaron, and then apologizes to him. He's always very apologetic and very sincere.
Very, I don't even know the word right now, just like you said, the fake nice.
Fake nice, but, nothing can be put a finger on, what's wrong with it.
Yes.
Which is great.
Then they, I believe at that point, they go hiking.
They go hiking after that, yeah. And they're going off to
the Heart Falls, right?
Yep, the Heart Falls, where they're going to... It's supposed to cure cancer or whatever ailment.
According to legend.
According to legend, yeah. It's supposed to cure cancer and whatnot. So they go over there so he can get his cancer cured, but in the middle of that, he also runs off in the woods randomly.
And then jump scares him again.
And then jump scares him again as he's on edge. And so they go to the thing, they get dunked in there, and they have a little fun, friend bonding experience. Where they're both going to the water, both doing a little prayer, essentially, a little ritual.
An emotional moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, and it's really well done. And they seem like they're buddies at the end of it.
All to get just so he can get closer and closer to him and be
best friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we go back to the cabin again.
Yep.
Which the cabin he says is his family's cabin.
Yes.
And then it ends up later that it's just like a rented house or whatever.
Yep.
It's just a rental. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But to the inside of the house at that point. He goes to ask him if he needs to dry off to go grab a towel from downstairs.
Yep.
He goes to the cabinet and...
Because it's just a mask at that point, right?
Yes.
The mask just jump scares him.
Yes, because it's like sitting right there. I know audio, you can't see it, but...
Aaron the whole time is always the one filming at this point, where he's just always, whatever he's doing, he's the one with the camera going around. And he goes to grab a towel.
Occasionally.
Joseph does take the camera now at this point. Not right now.
Yes.
But Joseph does start taking the camera and interviewing Aaron.
Yes, he'll take it occasionally and ask him questions.
Yep.
Flipping the script of like...
Oh, we skipped the whole scene. The diner.
Oh, the diner? Was that before?
Well, regardless, they went to the diner. That's where I'm thinking these... let me take the camera and put it on you.
Yeah, because he asked him to confess to something.
Yes. Oh
we
my
need,
God.
we need to get it closer. I want you to confess some embarrassing thing. And then he confesses to wetting his pants in school.
That was Aaron.
That's Aaron to confess to that. And then he's like, okay, now film me. And then he confesses to having filmed him before Aaron
saw
him.
coming up.
As a creep, in the woods, creepily filming him.
He was creepily, taking pictures.
Yes.
Of him.
Getting out of the car and walking up the stairs.
Mm-hmm. But he takes photos of him and he says, I'm sorry. I want to apologize for, having done this. I wanted to get to know you before you got to know me.
Yep.
So I could feel comfortable because, I was all scared about this.
Yep.
And it's well done. And then you feel a little bit closer with him.
Right.
But
you get really close to both of these guys.
Yeah. You're like, okay, I understand that. I get why you did that.
Yep.
It's a little weird, but I get it.
It could have been worse. It could have been you've been following me since I left my house or something like that.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. That was a very semi-innocent thing. It's a little weird, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, then the Peach Fuzz mask, he goes into the Peach Fuzz song. I think he tells him about how his dad used to have the friendly wolf Peach Fuzz.
Yep.
Who he used to sing the Peach Fuzz song. And it was this. Do you remember the Peach Fuzz song at all?
I don't.
Here's audio of the Peach Fuzz song.
Yay.
Hello, my name is Peach Fuzz. I might look like I eat you up.
Okay, there you go. There's the Peach Fuzz song for you. I also don't want to get copyright struck from a Peach Fuzz song.
It always reminds what the thing I keep thinking of most is with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie when he's talking almost like a kid or whatever, and it's something about the werewolf hour or the interview with Murray on the Murray Franklin show there. And that's what it reminds me of, and it's it's so.
He feels like a guy that is awkward and doesn't really know how to socialize or interact. What's next after that?
And they are sitting upstairs and they're talking, but then the snowstorm comes in and he can't find his keys to leave.
Yes. Aaron wants to leave.
At this point, it's all awkward.
Joseph wants him to have a drink.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, you should have a drink. We should both have drinks together." I got whiskey, and, really...
So then Aaron goes and looks for his key and can't find it.
And he suggests that he took his keys, and then he wants him to, stay here, and he won't let him leave, and he's like, where's my keys? Eventually, they sit down and have a drink, which then, when they both take the sip to the drink, and Joseph is like, oh, I feel a little weird or whatever, something like the strongness of the drink. Yep. They have a conversation, though, during that time.
Yep.
Which is, Joseph says, I want to tell you something about, I want to make a confession. And he wanted to confess the whole Peach Fuzz thing. Remember?
Yep.
That's the next part, right?
Yep, yeah. Because what's happening is Aaron's drugging Joseph. Yes, you get to see the whole scene of him making the drink.
It's suggested that he did that.
Yeah, they show him doing it.
Don't show him. Show his back doing it.
Yeah, they show him
but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, this is how I took it at least, is that Joseph accused him of doing that, made it so on the film it seemed like that.
Yeah.
But Aaron didn't actually do that to him.
No, he did.
Oh, I see. No, so this is what he's saying. He's saying that Aaron didn't do it.
Aaron didn't
Joseph did it to himself.
Joseph made it look like that so that he could get away with the weird stuff going on, and then he would have a dirt on him later, which he uses against him later a little bit. Then
I think then he passes.
Then he passes
Joseph,
out.
Yeah.
Joseph passes out from the drink. I think supposedly. I feel like I don't know if he really passed out officially because I think he was faking being passed out.
Yeah, probably.
Because he immediately gets back up later.
Good, yeah, he's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo. He fakes things well.
Yep. So then Aaron's going to look for the keys.
Finds them in Joseph's pocket.
No, he checks because at that point he knows.
Joseph took them or something.
He had to have taken them because they're nowhere else to be found.
Joseph gets on a phone call. That's what he finds in his pocket, right? He finds his phone, getting a phone call, and then it ends up being his supposed wife.
Oh,
I believe so.
Yes.
And he's in the bathroom. And
he goes in the bathroom with the phone and answers it, and it's the same name of the woman, but she says, "I'm Joseph's sister."
Yep.
And he's a weird guy. Where are you? Stay away from him. Get out of there.
Yep.
You gotta leave. And then the phone call gets ended abruptly. He leaves out the bathroom. Joseph isn't passed out anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Is he standing at the bottom of the stairs?
Well, no. He goes to the balcony, and then Joseph confronts him about it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then he gets his keys. Joseph runs down the stairs. He goes down the stairs and then meets Joseph there with a Peach Fuzz mask.
Yep.
It's not Joseph anymore, it's Peach Fuzz now.
Yep.
And then, he does his little dance.
And then doesn't it cut to...
So he says, don't do that. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. I don't like that. And then he's he does this weird little, jivey dance thing. And then they both... Aaron runs to get to the door. Joseph runs at him. Cut. Kind of a mess of seeing
you don't know what's happening.
Yes, I thought the movie was over then.
Yep,
that's what I thought too. Yeah,
I thought it was gonna leave there, no definitive answers, no nothing. But then it continues for another 20 minutes or something. Like that.
Yeah, it feels like it goes on for even longer than that. But yeah, no, it keeps going because then I think it's Aaron's back at his house and he wakes up because then Joseph tracks him down.
He delivers him DVDs with videos of either confessionals, he's I'm sorry, this.
I didn't mean to scare you.
Mm-hmm. He ships them to his address because he found out where he lives.
One of them was him putting a bunch of bags next to that axe, next to the tree stump.
Oh, yeah, that's the first one we see. We see him.
He's digging a grave almost.
We see him digging a grave is the first thing it cuts to with bags, he's burying a body is what you think.
Right.
And then he turns around the camera and Aaron turns around
because
the camera.
They make you think that it's Aaron's dead and he's being buried, but then
really it's Aaron's filming the DVD that's sent to him. It's very twists and turns. But he gets a bunch of messages from Joseph and they're apologizing / sending him the necklace and stuff where he's
oh my gosh, the necklace with the two hearts or the hearts.
Yeah, the hearts.
Where Joseph's on one side, Aaron's on the other.
He's very much seems like he's almost in love with him, or he's his best friend
infatuated
ever.
By him.
He's infatuated with him for sure.
Aaron starts hearing noises.
Yes.
Can't confirm that it's Joseph.
And we see the video of Joseph in the house.
Yep.
He picks up the camera
and puts it on Aaron.
and he cuts Aaron's hair and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Which is the only thing I saw in the movie that never came back. They never addressed that.
Why cut the hair?
Well, the hair didn't come up in I thought it was gonna get mailed to him. I thought he was gonna get mailed his own hair, or they could have a video with the lock of his hair, but they cut his hair and that's it. That's the only complaint I had with the movie of a thing that happened. There's no consequences of that thing.
It doesn't even show up at the end with the tapes.
I've never seen anything of it. Unless it's just in the background in a jar or something like that. Aaron hair.
Aaron hair.
But yeah, then he invites him for one final little resolution.
Well, yeah, takes a video of the lake and the bench and everything, and apologizing. Hey, I just want to be friends or.
Well, no, he doesn't even. He doesn't remember. He takes the video, sends it. Meet me here at this time.
Don't
worry.
Cuts a slit in the screen and puts the DVD next to his bed.
Yes.
But yeah, he invites him to go to a public area where
They can
everyone
be-
can be seen.
Yep.
There's no danger or anything. He's not gonna try to scare him or anything like that. That's what he says. He's like, be, one-on-one. And he even admits to the whole thing was a lie.
Yep.
And like his sister or whatever,
Yep.
that phone call.
That was great.
It was really heartfelt. And then so Aaron decides, you know what? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go meet him. I'm gonna be his friend.
Because he was heartfelt.
Yeah.
Well, no, he was like, against my better judgment.
Yep.
He was even saying, against my better judgment, I'm just going to go and do it. And
And then he goes and sits on the bench.
All
he,
by
he
himself.
Films he films himself
Yes.
with his camera from his car. He sets it up and he films the bench. And he's just sitting there.
For like a minute. You just
Yeah.
see him sitting on a bench.
Mm-hmm.
Next to the lake where it is a public area.
Yes.
But,
Well,
of
you can
course,
see
there's-
like background things happen.
well, of course, nobody's there to see it.
Yep.
Like, not that we know of, but like, of
Mhm.
course, the day he goes, it's like there's nobody there. It looks like completely different seasons between. It looks like when he's given the video by Joseph, it looks like it's summertime with everybody out, but then it looks like it's fall time because he's like wearing a coat and stuff. It's so
Yep.
weird.
Yeah. Maybe it was filmed at different times on purpose. So he's like,
But I think he
popular
even
season.
mentions his name though in the video. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know how much time passes between the initial incident
Mm-hmm.
and all the way up to then, because I feel like it had been a little bit before he,
At least a little bit.
like a month or two. I don't know.
Yeah.
maybe.
Which is summer to fall.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no,
Aaron's
then-
on the bench.
Aaron's on the bench, and you see Fuzz mask wearing Joseph come up behind him, slowly walking up.
Slyly
then-
throw out an axe.
Yeah.
He slides out an
yeah.
axe out
Kind of
of
like
nowhere.
Senator Palpatine when he does the
Yeah.
lightsaber.
When he does laser. Yeah, and he just picks it up
And then
and boom, right onto Aaron. And then,
not
Then he
one
double
time,
taps.
and then, yeah, I was gonna say they double taps.
Mhm.
Or no, I think triple taps.
Well, that-
I think
No,
maybe
just
I,
twice.
I think just twice, but I
What-
can't.
I think the best part of that is he did the same trick that Aaron did.
Yeah,
Is
where
he's filming the video and then he goes, I don't remember what he said exactly, but he was like, oh, that was a good trick keeping the camera there.
Yeah.
it's like.
He turns
And
it
the same thing that I was thinking he says then is, it's a good idea, but like, you didn't even turn around once.
Right,
yeah.
Like, you never even looked around to like,
Oh,
see.
he was just staring at a
You're
lake
just
the entire time.
looking forward, dead stare. Yeah, and I thought that was funny that he even addresses the fact that, like, Aaron's just not looking around himself.
Yep.
He's just dead staring into the distance.
Yep.
But yeah, then the movie just kind of ends there, I think.
Because then he puts the tape away.
Yep.
He puts
So then he
the tape away.
opens up the cabinet
Yep.
and he puts the tape away, and all you see in
It's
the shot
whole collection.
His whole
is
collection?
names
Yes.
on all these tapes, VHSs,
Mhm.
DVDs.
They have like part 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, yeah.
And
Which,
then
that's how that ends. And he
that's the
closes
first
it,
one.
and that's
Yeah.
it.
which I thought the first
Oh,
one was great. It's one of the more unique found footage films I've watched in a long time. Like, especially just hiring a filmographer to go film you.
Yep.
And then being the one that's the murderer. Like, normally it's like the murder's a third party entity.
Right.
And then it was taken by Blumhouse, which is great. And
Should get a Blumhouse tattoo, but that's
yeah, they're great. They do a lot of indie horror films,
Mhm.
or semi-indie. It's like the
not
Yeah,
anymore.
I was gonna say they're pretty far from it.
they're like
They're
medium
the horror
indie
classics
because they'll
now.
give people like money that wouldn't normally be able to get it. They
Mhm.
pick a lot of smaller projects,
Yep.
but like people that know what they're doing.
to have a good story behind it.
Yep.
So that leads into Creep 2 then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Now,
Creep 2, I'd like to start with this one. Has an amazing intro. Amazing. I don't remember the guy's name from the Deadpool. It's a taxi driver.
No, it's not the same guy.
Yes, it is.
Dopinder?
Wait, it is?
Yes, I'm 99% sure it's Dupender. Dupender?
Depender.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep. So it starts with,
Yes, it is him. Yeah.
It is
It
him.
is. Oh,
I'm imagining. I haven't seen the movie.
in a while. I just
Like a
watched
month.
it.
I,
so
yeah,
catch
I
up,
also
right?
just watched it, so I should know.
So it starts off with the Deadpool
We also just
taxi
haven't seen
actor.
Deadpool in a while, probably.
Probably not,
No.
because he wasn't in the third one.
Sadly.
So it starts with him confessing that someone's been sending him
Yeah.
a bear, or no, the baby wolf.
Yeah,
and
he
random
sent him a baby
tapes.
wolf and videos of himself And the person comforting him
Is
is
Joseph.
Joseph. But he's going under a different name. It's like Paul or something. It's
Yeah.
not.
I feel like actually he switched his name over to Aaron. For some reason, I keep like.
I'm going to check it out real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm going to see what name he goes. Because he goes under multiple names in that movie, though.
Keep staring at the camera. Anyway, so while he's trying to figure out that name, they're sitting at the table.
He does switch his name to Aaron.
So it is Aaron.
Wow.
Brendan's
Okay.
right.
All right.
So, yeah,
Cool.
So he takes over the Aaron that was killed in Creep 1.
Yeah, he takes his name. Apparently.
And just listening to the guy. I don't remember the whole conversation, but
But basically, they make it seem almost like they're lovers, or that they develop some type of romantic relationship.
It's the same type of
almost.
thing with
Joseph
Joseph and Aaron.
slash Aaron,
Yeah.
the main. I'm just gonna call him Joseph because it's too confusing to call him anything
Oh,
else.
man.
But Joseph is acting like it is, but the other guy's like,
kind of
wait,
what
no,
the heck?
I never thought of us like that. I never wanted that. We're just good friends, like you and me. And then Joseph's like, no, we're more than that.
looks at Peach Fuzz, the baby Peach Fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Like,
yes,
winks
because when
at
he
Ed.
goes to get
Yeah,
him,
Wolfie.
because
There's a camera in.
Yes, there's a camera.
That's
in
the
it.
camera we are currently viewing from.
Yes,
the
exactly.
opening scene.
And Joseph has, what is it? Whatever his name is, go grab him a drink. And while he does that, he immediately looks right into the he looks right into the camera and kind of smirks a little bit. And it goes over. He's like, and then once he
moves
comes
the camera
back,
to the
yes,
dining
he aims it
table
right
that
to the
they're
dining table.
about to talk at.
Yes, and then as they're talking, he's basically like, "Oh yeah, like I'm just I'm turning 40, and I'm just losing my passion for everything."
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's right.
yeah, and he's like basically like I'm like having a midlife crisis, and then he's like, "Oh, don't you think it's kind of weird how we met at the same time you started getting these videos and stuff?"
Don't you think that's kind of odd?
And then the guy starts putting everything together, and
Takes out a
as
knife
they're
and just
talking, takes a knife out and just
Slices his
Slices his
throat. Puts his gun on
throat.
the table.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just kind of sitting there like
Blood all over his face. He
Yeah. Yo.
It's something he loves to do in all of the movies and show. Is he loves to say, "Isn't that weird that you like kept on going with this thing?" Like
Yes.
he mentions in the first one that you saw the axe out there, and
Yep.
then you
Yeah.
still walked
Still
in,
walked
and
in.
you didn't question it at all. He loves to do that, where it's like, shouldn't your survival instincts kick in? And then he continues like talking like normal again. But he even like he drops so many hints to the people,
Oh, yeah.
trying to get them to catch on that
And see
he's
if they
a
can.
serial killer.
Yep.
And they never really do for the
No.
most part.
Yep. So then it cuts to I don't even know her
It
name.
cuts
Sarah.
to Sarah,
Sarah.
who's she films lonely men mainly.
Basically, it's
to get a perspective on their lives.
Mhm, she's
yes, it's
about loneliness.
was it like Encounters or something?
Encounters is
or-
the name of the show.
Yes, and it's her answering these weird Craigslist ads that she's finding to see what is actually going on with these people, if these ads are more than what they seem.
Yep.
So you got one guy who's like wants to be mommied, and she
Mhm.
shows up and has him like resting
In
on
diaper,
her lap. And then there's another one where it's a guy who's just lonely, wants somebody to talk to, and she's like, and she films all of the, the entire encounter, and, the one guy that just wants to talk, she's like, "What were you hoping to get us?" He's like, "Oh, life gets lonely,"
Yeah.
and then it cuts to them just in a hot tub, and they're both just staring each other down,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, when I saw that, I was like, okay. And I think there's another guy who was like,
There's
pottery.
like 5 or 6 guys that it goes through for the intro where she's talking to them. They're just lonely old men that she's answering Craigslist ads for, which leads into her having like no views. No one cares about this.
Nobody cares. Yep.
Then she's looking on Craigslist and she sees the offer for $1,000 for 8 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
It was something like that for I think it was for 24.
24 hours.
Or no, wait,
I don't
I
think
think
it
it was for
was-
the day.
For the day, yeah.
24
Okay.
hours comes in later.
She sees that ad and she's like, okay, this might be an interesting one.
This might be finally like my big breakout
Mhm.
thing.
She's hoping, but she's also like, this is the last episode. Like, she's
yes.
fully like thinks that like this could be it, and then
Yep.
she's not going to do this anymore. And then she shows up to I wasn't sure or not what was happening, but it's a completely different location.
Yes.
than the
Different
first
cabin.
But
one.
it's still like
It's still
a woodsy
similar.
area.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
he like rents out another location since we already know at this point he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
As long as you watch the first one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you see this new location and you're like, I don't know. It's interesting seeing how he does similar things,
Mm-hmm.
but they're different slightly. But yeah, he rents out a cabin. She comes in and no one's there. She's looking for him around there, and then
You hear the blender just go off, and he is like, "Oh, I want to smoke." And then when you see him, you're like, "Wait, is this the same guy?" Because now
He's got a ponytail.
he's got a man bun
Yeah,
going.
man bun,
he's got a
a
beard
beard.
growing, and it's like
he's completely different.
yes, exactly. He's completely different. He seems more like he's all into all this fitness stuff. He's like, "Oh, I want a green smoothie."
Yeah.
You know, he's like, "It's really healthy for you." It's got, I think he said it was like strawberry, banana, kale, and and as she takes it, they're sitting down and start talking. Outright, just admits to her, "Oh yeah, I am like
what
probably
they would classify as a serial
what
killer.
they would classify as a serial
Yeah.
killer." I don't like the whole. What was the whole wording that he used? He's like, "I don't like the name of that or whatever."
Mhm.
But
Since I've killed so many people,
Well,
I get
technically,
that.
I'm classified
Yes,
as a serial
exactly.
killer. Yeah.
But I've lost my touch, and
Yeah.
it kind of confesses to her the entire time.
and
she doesn't believe
she
it.
doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Well,
believe
she's
it.
acting completely nonchalant. She agrees with him. She acts like that. We don't know at that point that she's
Whether she fully believes him or not.
Yeah, she's just completely deadpan about it. Where she's like, "Okay,
Yep.
I gotcha.
And-
Let's do this. Let's film this
Yes,
thing."
but eventually, as they're talking, and they're like, he's like, "Oh, I want to do this whole like spiritual journey and whatnot," and he's like, "There's this whole wall between you and you're a woman, I'm a man, and we need to be able to see each other for whatever." Something taking him down that wall, and he's like, so eventually he goes upstairs, and he's like, "I'll be back down." He comes and he's just in a towel, and then he's like, "We need to
Break down the boundaries.
break
or
down the
break down
boundaries."
guys. We
Drops
all
his
wonder
towel.
what each other
Drops
looks like
his
naked.
towel,
He drops
and
a towel.
after he does that, she goes ahead and she's like,
Well, she says, "Now,
Now it's my
Now
turn.
my turn?
"She's not my turn." He's like, "Wait, what?"
Taken
Like
aback
he's so
from it, like-
taken aback because he's used to everybody being like, "Okay, I gotta get the hell out of here." Like then she goes ahead and gets naked in front of him, but the thing is, he
Zooms on her face.
zooms in on like her chest up.
Like, oh
Yeah,
no,
it's
keep
like-
zooming in. It goes to her
it goes
face.
Oh, it
all
does
the way
go
up to her
to her- oh,
face."
yeah,
He
yeah,
doesn't
no.
care about anything else. He just cares about her
Her
face.
face.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, he didn't. It's a completely non-sexual scene.
Yes.
As weird as it sounds, there's nothing sexual about it. It's just two people just get naked,
And
and
then, move on.
then it moves on.
Yes.
It's very like nonchalant. But you would think she would oppose and she'd be like, "No, or like freak out when she saw him naked."
Nope.
It's
And
just
then
very nonchalant.
But then afterwards, I believe she goes into his bathroom
Mhm.
And hides a knife.
and it hides the knife in her boob
And she
just to be
mentions
safe.
to us, the audience, she says that, "Hey, I don't believe that he's actually a killer, but just in case." And then she slips the knife.
Case.
And he's pounding at the door,
Like,
like,
"Come on,
where are you?
let's
Let's
go,
get out.
let's go."
At that moment, where like I was wondering the entire movie, like, did he hear that?
Yes.
Yes, yes. There's no way
Likely.
he did it because
Right.
she was so loud.
She was loud. She was full speaking volume, talking
Yes.
to the audience.
And she comes out. He's not there, so she walks towards the front door, and he jump scares her, but she doesn't react. And his reaction is just disappointed. Like, wow, I really have lost it, haven't I?
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, he's very just depressed anytime he doesn't like feel accomplished in what he's doing. Like he
Yes.
can't get her, and like he's intrigued by her not being like
Scared.
scared,
Yes.
but at the same time he's like, well, I guess what's the point of me even doing this?
Because his whole spiritual journey in this one is he needs to get back to killing.
Yes,
Yes,
he needs
well-
to
And he
find
can't
his
scare
passion
her,
again.
so he can't find, his
He needs his
passion.
spark.
And then what's after that?
So he has this whole river scene stage where he's supposed to be floating in the water.
Oh, yeah,
because
because-
they're doing the documentary about the serial killers. The whole
Yeah.
Yes,
yes. That's
about
what she's
one of the
looking for.
greatest serial killers the world doesn't even know exists.
Yep.
And he even fully discloses, "Oh yeah, I have 38 victims."
Yep.
39, I thought.
No, 38.
Okay.
And he just completely out in the open, and even like
Mhm.
first listening to him talk about it was like, how is she not just
Running.
running? Like,
Yes. It doesn't really like, and because we've seen the first one, or you're supposed to have seen the first one. You know everything he's saying is accurate.
Yep.
And then she just doesn't believe him at all.
Yep.
Which, it's just interesting how they did that. And then, he goes over to the river to do the whole water. He wanted to be up to his head, and he wanted to be a
godly
Jesus scene.
Yeah, so he wanted to rise out of the water.
Yep.
And then he goes over to the river,
There's no
and
There's
the
no
water
water.
tides completely brought it down.
It's I think up to his waist or whatever.
It's not even up to his waist. Sitting down.
Sitting
up to
down,
his
it's
waist.
up to his waist. So as they're starting to film, he's just sitting there like this and doing the
Arms
whole
in the air.
narration.
Yeah.
The year is 19, whatever the heck it was, like 1980.
He
something.
started at his birth. I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. He starts at his birth, and he's just sitting there, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I figure you add the
Special
effects or whatever,
effects,
special effects,
Yep.
Rising out of
CGI.
water, Jesus type of thing." And it's
She's like,
She's
stop.
no, we're not doing that. Just go with what's here. And they kept on having. I think they cut 20 times during that.
yes,
because
birds,
the birds were messing it up. Different things were messing it
the
up.
sunlight.
The
sunlight,
shade
the shade,
changed.
yes.
She was getting frustrated.
Oh, then there was, I think it was a train or something,
Yep.
or
Yep.
some loud vehicle. So then eventually he finally just throws a massive tantrum
Anyways.
and then storms off. It's a little bit after that she's like, okay, I'm going to go look for him.
Mhm. She's worried
Yes.
about him and where he is as well. She's a little bit scared at that time, but
Yes.
not.
Because I think that's the first time he's actually full blown
Yeah, you just be scared of
Yes.
just a person that's just freaking out on you
Oh my
like
gosh.
that.
yes.
Especially
and-
his stature.
Oh yeah. And so then she goes looking for him. Eventually she finds him
Face down.
face down in the dirt in the forest.
Forgot about that.
And she
Just laying
keeps
there.
trying to talk to him, but he's not responding. So she reaches down, and when she kind of puts her hand on his head to see, is he even alive at this point? He's he takes her hand and it just wants her to rub his head.
Mm-hmm. It's a weird
It's
moment.
Again, it's just weird.
Mm-hmm. Their dynamic is so much weirder than Aaron and Joseph
Because it also makes you think, wait, is she also the same level of crazy he is?
Yeah,
and,
at this point.
and that's also that's what I like about the second one is that you don't know if she's only doing this for the views or if she's actually kind of crazy herself.
yeah, that's why she always does those weird things to all the old lonely guys, is because she's
she wants to see what makes them tick and everything like
Yeah.
that.
And then
And then
they go back home after that, she comforts him and everything.
and it's been hours and he's still not talking, but he's playing, what were her words? His 90s music or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
Sitting
he
in the
goes-
hot tub
He goes
Yeah.
down to the hot tub by himself,
and playing music.
and he's
In
playing
the
music
dark.
on repeat, the same song on repeat, over and over again. She hears it, but she's upstairs, he's downstairs, and she's wondering if she should leave or if she should go and try to comfort him.
Spoilers.
She goes and tries to comfort him.
Yeah. But not because she wants to actually comfort him, but because she wants to get a reaction out of him.
She says, that for the show, the content, it would be better to leave him alone, she said,
Mhm.
for his emotional stability. But for the content, it's better for her to go down there and
Yep.
confront
Oh, yeah.
him and stuff and see if she can get him to do stuff. So she goes down there, he's listening to the same song, and he's telling her to leave, almost
Yep.
immediately. As soon as she gets
Oh.
down there, and the music blasting.
Oh, yeah.
The
So he's
music
just
is-
sitting in the dark in the corner, just his hair's all
Hot tub.
down and just
Yep.
sitting there while this one song is blasting on repeat.
Sarah Loves Her Juicy Fruit
Yes.
is the name of the song. Which he talks to her about that, and he's like, this, you remind me of this song. It's my favorite song.
Well, he
My
said
juicy
your
fruit.
name is happens to also be when
that's
they're
what he
texting
messaged
in the
her.
beginning.
Yes.
Yeah,
In the
at the
beginning,
beginning.
he said when she says my name is Sarah,
He says
he's
that's my
like,
favorite
oh,
song.
that's also kind of the name of a song, my favorite song. So when they do introduce themselves, forgot to mention this, and he's like, oh, your
Oh.
name's actually Sarah.
You told me the truth.
You
told me the
you
truth,
told
yeah.
me the truth.
I can tell in your face.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot
Yes.
about that. Yeah.
But yeah, so then she
She gets in the hot tub now.
gets in the
And
hot
look
tub
behind
with
him and holds him to make him
She's-
feel okay.
Well, she starts massaging his shoulders.
Yep.
if
and
I
then it
remember
starts to get a little
right. It's
weird.
a little weird.
Does he growl and stuff?
He
oh yeah, he's growling and stuff
Like,
too.
I think the same type of sounds he makes when he's in the Peach Fuzz mask. He's like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like she's taming a beast or something. It
Yep.
is.
Mhm.
Oh.
No, it's it's weird. And then he, like, grows more fondly of her after that moment because they, like, bond and, like, she won't give up on him is what she's, like, saying. Like, you gotta make through this movie together. It's gonna be the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. And, like, he's, like, finally understands, or thinks he understands her. And he's like, okay, let's do this. Yep. And then he regains the courage to start filming again. But he switches the script because then it's, he wants to make the movie on how he dies.
Yes, that he wants to basically film his own death, and his first idea is having her...
Well, he wants her to take his place, right? Is what he says. Well, he wants her to kill him.
Yeah.
He goes into a story about how he killed...
His first victim.
His first victim was a serial killer, he says.
No, I don't think it... No, it wasn't. No, his first victim wasn't a serial killer. So this loops back to Sarah Loves Her Juicy Fruit, that the band that was playing in town... He went out, partied with the band after they were done performing that night. Then, as he's, like, walking home from the partying, because, you know, they gotta go to a different town, they gotta play, can't take him along, a guy comes along and says, hey, do you want to ride? He goes into the truck. You know, at the time, he's still innocent. He doesn't know any better and thinks, oh, yeah, it's just a stranger being nice, giving me a ride. And when he gets in the truck, the stranger's like, oh, this is great. Because the stranger then takes him out into the woods after driving for a little bit. I think he makes him dig a hole. His own grave.
Yep.
And then as Aaron's tied up, I think he's already down in the hole. And he's like, the guy's telling him, like, oh, you know, in a couple minutes I'm going to be burying you alive. And, you know... Then Aaron manages to go ahead and actually, like, strangle him. He, like, I don't remember exactly how. But
I thought it was implied that he was a serial killer. Why was he just randomly killing that person? Why was he randomly killing Joseph Fletcher? I thought it was...
Because some people are just nuts like that.
But that's a serial killer. I figured it was... Anyhow, it was supposed to be that the... killing him gave him, like, the darkness or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
it like, powered... Like, his emotion
his
went
mind,
into
yes.
him, is what he felt like. Which was the serial killer, I thought.
Maybe.
He was saying that, like, his killing energy of, like, being a serial killer went into him after he killed him.
So now he's got to continue it on.
And he wants Sarah to take his place as a serial killer and kill him.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think to take her place, but just to be the one to kill him.
No, to take his... He says he wants her to be like him. That's the whole, like, his whole idea is, like, that's why he wants her to kill him.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And then,
then
he tries to kill himself, and he says he wants her to help, but she's like, no, I'm not killing you. I'm not doing this. Does he start off with the axe, right?
And he's like, we got it on film that I want you to kill me.
So
and,
it's all
so that way, yeah, exactly.
And he's laying down on the ground, and she
with
won't
the
do
Peach Fuzz mask on, he's
Yes,
laying on a table, face down, and has his head hanging off. He's like, I made sure to sharpen the axe already, so she'd just be able to cut clean through, and she's not able to do it. So he's like, well, basically, you know, kind of like, if you're not going to do it, then I'll go ahead and do it. So he gets a rope and a noose. He's up on, like,
there's a terrace, like...
Yeah.
It's an indoor balcony.
That basically, yes. And he goes ahead and he hangs himself from it.
Yeah, he jumps off of it and hangs himself, and
he's basically like, we'll see what type of person you really are.
If you don't save me, technically that counts as you killing me.
Yes, that's what it was.
He's like, so you're not going to get in trouble, but I can have you kill me in some weird way.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And then while he's choking, she goes over to him and saves him.
She gets freaked out at this point.
Yes,
because now she's like, now in her head she's like, oh my god, this actually might all be real.
Well, also that he's going to kill himself. Like, he's not just joking around. It's not, like, the axe wasn't fake, and if she'd done it, like, it wasn't going to just bounce off his neck.
No.
Yep.
He was trying to die. But, yeah, she gets freaked out. She wants to leave at that point.
Yep.
Does he take the camera and he starts filming her?
I think he does, but then I think something happens where then later on...
He apologizes.
He apologizes.
Shows her that it was all fake.
Yes, and then he shows her that there was a harness, supposedly.
Yes, he runs out of the room
to the basement.
Goes to the basement.
The top of the basement.
And grabs a harness that he says he was wearing. Allegedly. And then she immediately, like, believes it.
Yep.
She's immediately like, oh, okay. like this, like, and then he's like, oh no, I just wanted the movie to be good for
Yep.
you. I wanted you to have a good episode of Encounters.
Yep.
And I think, is that when he brings up?
That's when he brings up that he knows all about, or that he discovered all about.
He
it.
watched all of it when they were down in the bathtub. Because she left the camera there.
Yes.
And then he had watched everything. And he found out about the knife in her boot and all that. And, but yeah, he wanted to make a good episode for her, he said.
Yes. Yep. And then I think it turns to him taking her out into the forest.
Yes, but what's his excuse to go out to the forest? Is it just for the movie? Is it
I
just
think
for...
it was, yeah.
I think, are they doing like a peekaboo? Like, not
Yes, yeah,
they
they were doing something like that, and then...
going into the woods.
Yes.
With just like a flashlight camera or whatever,
Yep.
chasing each other around.
Yep.
Yeah.
And...
Then it gets to the grave.
Yes, and then it comes up to the hole, or the grave that's made.
A pre-dug grave.
Yep.
That he said he dug before she got there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And he said,
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to be for me or for you.
But now I know it's for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's...
Well, no,
like,
now I know it's for both.
Oh, yes, yeah, for both of us.
Because the plan was for them to kill each other. Or no, not kill each other, kill themselves, and then...
That he would kill himself, or I think
They
that
were
he
gonna
was
kill
gonna...
him.
No, he was, I think, gonna kill her, or she had
I thought
her
he
kill
was trying to
him.
make a pact with her to kill themselves, and then they would go in the grave together and
die like Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, and that was the idea. He's like kind of in love with her
At this point, yes.
at this point, because he thinks she's like perfect for him because she matches his weirdness. And she's like, no, I don't want to.
And then that's when it leads into him being like, well, in that case,
I'm gonna make it
just
happen. I'm gonna
And-
kill you and then I'll kill myself.
Yes.
Or whatever.
That's when he starts stabbing himself.
Well, he stabbed
Oh,
himself
no,
to
yes,
start.
he does it to
Yep.
start, yes.
And he's like, no, you do it.
And then she
And then she's
backs
like,
out,
no.
obviously, because why would she?
Yep.
And then he eventually, it turns into him chasing her,
Mhm.
and he manages to catch up and get to her.
Yes, and then you see a bunch of stabbing going on.
And you hear a
behind
bunch of noises.
Tree, it's obscured, and you see that, and then he walks out from behind the
and
tree.
pulls her body out,
Puts her in the
drops
grave.
it into the hole,
Yep, you
and
see
then goes
that.
to the camera and starts giving this whole speech.
Yep.
And how he's not going to kill himself now because he actually changed his
Because
mind.
now he found his purpose again. and
Yeah.
whatnot, and then as he's doing it, he doesn't think to ever once look behind him.
Just like the
Just
Just
like
like the first
Aaron.
one.
And then you see her slowly crawling out of the grave, and as she's doing
She
so,
grabs the shovel.
She grabs the shovel, comes up behind him, and just annihilates him. So we think.
Mhm.
And then
Cut
it
to the
cuts, and then we see.
We see
It's
footage
now
of
in
New
the
York
city.
Yep,
it's New York City. It's her. You see like
walking.
her walking towards the camera being filmed.
Yep.
Yep.
It's very similar to the pictures that were taken, like
Yes.
where there's no explicit thing said. It's just her.
Yep.
Like nothing being.
And she looks a lot different now. She
Mhm.
doesn't have her hair all dyed.
Yeah, she had her-
She basically looks a lot more like, I guess she blends more in with the crowd.
Society. Yeah.
Yes, she
Yes.
doesn't look like she's trying to.
Be herself anymore.
She's just falling into place. She looks very depressed, almost. Like
Yes.
she's like lost her personality, her edge of like who she was.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like that got her to be almost killed.
Yeah.
So understandable why she would do that. Why
And-
she'd try to redefine herself.
Then, as the camera keeps following her, she then
The very last scene.
The very last scene, they both get on a subway, and he's just obviously
assume
we
it's
assume
we
it
assume
is
it's
him. We don't actually know.
Well, the only reason we would know is because he whistles. The
Oh
song,
yes, he
He
whistles
whistles
the
the
song.
Peach
That's
Fuzz
right.
song.
and that's
Yeah.
what makes her pop up her head, and then it
And-
cuts.
Well, I don't think it's that because she has her headphones in. So I think it's because it's the camera's trained on her so long. Eventually, she's just kind of looking around in general to
Mhm.
make sure she's not being followed.
And then
Then
she
happens
sees
to
the
see
camera.
him, and that's when the
And it
movie
cuts.
cuts.
And we have no idea because tapes never addresses it. Sorry for
That's
spoiling.
fine.
But yeah, no, the tapes never address it, so you have no idea what really happened. It could also be a copycat killer that like goes after and he's dead.
But
at that
how
point.
would they know? Because nobody knows.
Someone
who
could
this
watch the
is.
tapes and then like
But how? Because they're all at wherever
Well,
his.
if it-
actual
let's
home
say-
is.
this is hypothetical. It's complete hearsay, but it could have found the tapes after investigation, and it could then they're online and then they're leaked and then people watch it and then try copycat. But it's never for sure. like showing that's him.
I'm
It's
gonna
left on a
go-
little bit.
I'm gonna go with that. It is actually him,
Mhm.
and that because we've seen that he can. It's not like he can't take a beating. I mean, he survived stabbing himself multiple
And also,
times.
Yeah, I don't know if she had the guts to like
Kill him.
Yes.
keep killing.
She
try
probably
to kill
just
him,
knocked him out.
and then
ran away.
Yes,
But there's blood spatter that comes up onto the camera lens, so it makes
It's
you
very-
think, oh, yeah, she definitely got him.
but it's not for sure. At least in my opinion, that it's like definitely.
I really think it is, though, because
Mhm.
that she didn't stab him with the shovel, she only hit him with the...
Yes, that is true.
And spoilers for both of you if you didn't know, they were working on Creep 3 before Creep Tapes came out.
But
Okay.
not necessarily meaning that
I would agree,
no.
but
it takes place because we have no idea. None of the creep tapes are definitely after.
no, it's all before.
They're all before.
Well, I don't want to spoil.
Well, I don't. They never state.
No, they're
Like
just...
they don't
all
tell you which
happen.
ones are the first ones, which ones later. They just have the
It's
show
just
is
an
just
anthology
episodes
series,
of
yeah.
the tapes,
Yep.
which could be tapes made after, could be tapes made before. He is older, so
So I would assume that it's after, but it
but
could also
he
just be
doesn't
because...
look that much older. He,
No,
like,
no.
It's not like they waited till he's like 50 and then they have to like. Well, it's definitely after. They could be in the middle.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. Great movie. I like the first one more than the second one, though. I think you
I
guys
can
seem to
go
like the
back
second
and
one.
forth. I think the second one I like a little bit more, but it's also recency bias for me because I watched Creep 1, like, that was, like, last month, I think. So
Yeah.
this one I watched this past week, so I remember this one more. But, I mean, both of them, you could go either way. Like, there's
They're
no
both
one, I would say.
really well done, and they're
Yes.
both different from each other. It's not like we just got, like...
It's not a retread. That's what makes me happy is it's not a retread and that they
Mhm.
go for something different you haven't seen before. The serial killer just like, oh yeah, no, I'm a serial killer. Here I am. Here's how many people I've killed. And let me tell you my whole backstory.
Yeah, no, it's interesting how, like, they do it. The first one, for me, because you don't... Like, obviously, I watched it, I knew he was going to be a serial killer, but you weren't ever sure of it because he never admits to it until...
Not until
The
like
very
the
end.
very end.
The
yeah.
very end where where you still might believe him at that park bench.
Yep.
You still might think he might just be
He
weird.
might just be
Genuine.
that weird, yeah.
And then it's not. But like I like that there's no evidence in that movie that directly points you until the very end.
Yes.
In the second one I think they opened up with a serial killer scene. So that even if you hadn't watched the first one,
you already know this guy's
he's
a
actually
yes.
a serial
yes.
killer. As well as just adding to the tapes and the mythos that he's killed. However, maybe 30,
I think it's
8 or more.
38 at that point,
a lot.
Mhm.
and then almost 39.
Yeah.
So,
And then probably more, because some of those tapes might be after. We don't know for sure.
and
They don't say anything about the timeline of events, which is probably for the best. It's better. I like it when they keep it a little bit
Secretive.
vague. We don't really know his backstory, because he could be lying.
Oh,
Yep.
exactly, and that's the thing. And another thing in two is he talks about how, I value the truth. Basically, I value it above all. I never lie,
Mhm.
even though he has lied multiple times.
Yes, he always is lying,
Yeah.
other than in Creep 2.
Yep.
For the most part. I think he has a couple lies every once in a while. None that I can think of. off the top
I
of
think
my
the way
head.
he views it is playing with the facts or something. Is
Yeah, I think
how
he says
stated
that,
it.
yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
He values truth in emotion because he also, like, the way that other people, he always wants them to be honest.
Yep.
Yes.
He always wants, like, people to tell their life stories and, like, stuff like that. Like, he wants to learn about these people.
Before they kill him, or before he kills him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get to know him.
He likes to get to know them. He likes to have honest conversations, like when he's talking about the embarrassing story.
Yeah.
And when he wants to both get naked, and then he's like, he wants that barrier to be broken.
But the
between
thing
them.
is, he didn't want her to. But then when he was like, because obviously he was taken aback by the fact
it
she
seemed
went
like
forward to it.
he wanted her to do it, but he had no intention of her actually doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he was like, I'm going to say that I want the barrier to be broken between us, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to freak her out, and then I'll get my rise out of her. He has a plan of how people react, and then he's always teasing them with the fact that he's a serial killer, even if it's in the first one with Aaron.
Yeah, just like, you're gonna die, but,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna outright tell you right away.
Right.
Mhm.
Both were good.
Both are
Oh
good.
yeah, both were good.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend Creep Tapes too. The show has a couple. Is this like an anthology where each one is a different tape? Not all of them are the best, but some of them are just as good, if not better, than the movies.
Yes.
Particularly like the last episode.
And we'll talk about that in the next one.
Yes, I will make sure to watch the rest of them.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about that, and we'll have more topics for general stuff. I don't know, was there anything else that we want to talk about today?
Not today. I'm sure there's a million things.
I'm sure there's a million things we can talk about, but...
Thank you for watching.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Appreciate
Tell us what you want to hear us talk about. Suggestions, questions, feedback.
Yeah, some stuff that maybe none of us have looked into before. We're also video games, movies, TV. We're all willing to do it all. It just might take longer to do.
Yes.
Like a TV show, I think would be the longest thing for us to all watch, like 4 seasons of something. But if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments of YouTube, or if you're in the store, mention it in the store. And I don't know how you do it on a podcast, but you can look at our YouTube and comment there if you want. That's probably the best way. That's where we'll be looking.
Yes.
That, and if you just tell us in the store, hey, this series is good, you might like it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We'll try.
Yeah, with depends on our schedules.
I mean, it depends on yes,
Depends
and
on
also
that.
just how interested 3 of us are into it.
Yes.
We had to all be on board for it to be like a thing. But I would love your recommendations.
Exactly. Yeah.
We'll see you in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one. Little less random topics in this one. A lot more. Yeah.
A lot more just the
talking.
movie discussion.
One long discussion.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.